In the Navy, 4:30 a.m. isn't just a wake-up call. It's a test of your mind, your body, your limits. You're running on 4 hours of sleep, surrounded by metal walls, and there's no room for mistakes. This isn't the Navy they show you in the commercials. This is the real deal. Forget the alarm clock. In the Navy, your day starts early and fast. By 4:30 a.m., the whole ship is awake. A loudspeaker blares the morning call, known as reveille. There's no snooze button. You jump out of your small bunk, shared in a tight space with other sailors. These bunks are called racks. Narrow, stacked beds with barely enough room to roll over. First stop, hygiene. Sailors line up in shared bathrooms. You brush your teeth and shave quickly, using small sinks and cold mirrors. There's no privacy here. Everything is done fast. You're expected to be clean, sharp, and ready. Next, it's time to dress. Navy uniforms are strict. Everything must be perfect. Boots shined, name tag clean, shirt tucked tight. You can't show up messy or slow. Inspections are routine. If you're not in top form, you'll hear about it. Then comes breakfast in the galley, the Navy's dining hall. It's loud, fast, and full. You grab your tray, eat scrambled eggs, maybe a slice of toast and some coffee, all in under 15 minutes. There's no time to sit and talk. The moment you finish, you clean your tray and get moving. By 6 a.m., the ship is fully awake and ready to start the day. There's a sense of constant motion. Everyone has a job, and no one waits for instructions. You're expected to know your role. This morning routine is tough, especially for new recruits. But over time, it becomes second nature. The Navy teaches speed, discipline, and readiness, right from the moment your eyes open. After the morning rush, the real work begins. By 0600 hours, sailors report to their duty stations, the area or section where they're assigned to work. Every sailor has a specific role, whether it's engineering, navigation, maintenance, operations, supply, or communications. The ship is like a floating city, and everyone has a job to keep it running smoothly. If you're in engineering, you'll head below deck into the loud, hot engine room, checking gauges, maintaining systems, and ensuring the ship's power runs nonstop. If you're assigned to operations, you might monitor radar or radio systems, tracking whether ships or aircraft. Weapons teams handle checks on missiles, torpedoes, or guns. The level of detail and procedure is intense. Orders come down from the chain of command, and they're not optional. You follow instructions exactly. If you make a mistake, it could put the entire ship in danger. That's why Navy training drills strict focus and discipline into every sailor from day one. While it might seem repetitive, no 2 days are exactly the same. Sometimes there's a surprise drill like a fire or man overboard exercise. Other times it's equipment maintenance, supply inventory, or emergency response training. There's very little downtime. Even if you're ahead on tasks, someone's watching. The work is nonstop, and everyone is expected to pull their weight. What makes it hard isn't just the physical tasks. It's the pressure. Long hours, no excuses, and little space to breathe. But that pressure also builds strength and pride. You know that what you're doing matters. When you serve aboard a Navy ship, you become part of a giant, moving system. Every second counts, and every sailor matters. Just when you start to settle into the rhythm of your work, things change. Fast. Out of nowhere, alarms sound across the ship. It could be a fire drill, chemical attack drill, or a full general quarters alert, meaning everyone must report to battle stations. This isn't just a routine. It's a core part of Navy life. Drills are loud, intense, and taken seriously. You might be halfway through your maintenance check or eating lunch when it hits. You drop everything. Run. Grab your gear. Get into position. If you're assigned to firefighting, you'll put on heat-resistant suits and oxygen tanks. If you're in damage control, you'll seal doors and secure sections of the ship. And if you're on a weapons team, you're at the ready, tracking imaginary threats. These drills happen multiple times a week. Why? Because out at sea, help is far away. In an emergency, the crew is all you've got. The Navy trains you to act without panic, to know exactly what to do, even when everything goes wrong. On top of drills, inspections are frequent. Officers will check your uniform, your work area, even your attitude. There's no room for slacking. If your bunk isn't tight or your locker is messy, you'll hear about it. Respect and discipline are built into everything, not as punishment but as survival tools. You start to realize that this isn't just about following rules. It's about building habits that save lives, yours and your crew's. Every second of training matters. There's a saying on Navy ships, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. That's why the drills never stop. After long hours of work, drills, and inspections, you'd think sailors get to relax. And they do, sort of. But Navy downtime doesn't look like what most people imagine. Even during off hours, you're never fully off duty. If you're lucky, you get an hour or two in the evening to rest. Some head to the ship's small gym for a quick workout. Others go to the lounge to play video games, watch a movie, or write letters to family. There's Wi-Fi on some ships, but it's slow and limited. A call home, when possible, feels like gold. Most sailors just try to catch their breath. They clean their gear, polish their boots, or quietly sit by themselves. Privacy is rare. Space is tight. You live with dozens of others in close quarters. There's no room to escape stress, so you learn to manage it internally. Sleep is never guaranteed. Even if your shift ends, you might be called up again. Night watches are common. You could be posted on deck, in the engine room, or monitoring radar, usually for 2 to 4 hours, even in the middle of the night. You stand guard, alone with your thoughts, while the ship rocks gently in the dark ocean. What's hardest for many is the homesickness. You miss birthdays, holidays, even simple things, a walk outside, fresh air, your bed at home. Some sailors carry small photos in their pockets to feel close to loved ones. Still, there's pride in the silence. You know you're doing something most people can't. Even on the quietest nights, you're protecting something much bigger than yourself. Downtime on a Navy ship isn't lazy or relaxing. It's short, sacred, and often interrupted, but it teaches you to value every second. As night falls, the ship doesn't sleep, and neither do many of its sailors. The sea is always moving, and so is the mission. Sailors rotate through late-night watches, also called mid-watches, between midnight and 4 a.m. These are some of the hardest hours, not just physically, but mentally. You might be standing on an outside deck, watching for threats in the dark. Or you're in a control room, monitoring screens that rarely change. It's quiet, just the hum of the ship and your own thoughts. You fight to stay alert. One mistake, even during these slow hours, could be dangerous. Others try to get some rest in their racks, stacked bunks with curtains for privacy. You sleep in full uniform in case you're called up again. It's not deep sleep. It's more like light rest with one ear open. Noise is constant. Engines humming, feet stomping, intercom announcements. But somehow you adapt. In these hours, the reality of Navy life sinks in. The early mornings, long days, drills, watch shifts, they're not just about survival. They're about purpose. You're part of something bigger. You're keeping a warship and your country safe. You also feel the bonds. The sailor next to you is more than a coworker. They're your brother or sister. You trust them with your life. There's a shared respect that forms only through hard days and harder nights. What they don't show you in the Navy commercials is this: the quiet pride, the constant sacrifice, the deep strength you discover in yourself. It's not glamorous, but it's real, and it changes you. This is the side of Navy life most people never see, and the part that stays with you forever.